to another normal baseball podcast. It's been a while, but we're back, and we got a fun episode today. What's going on? Welcome back to another normal baseball podcast. Got a lot to talk about. We haven't done this in a little bit. Life gets busy, and holidays and stuff like that. So what's new? What's going on? Baseball. If only I had that sound clip. It exists. I could probably put it on, honestly. But yeah, a lot's happened since we left, and we're ready to talk about it. I think a good place to start, Kyle Seeger. Retired, obviously. What a guy. Yeah, really. He like it just seems. I don't want to see it seemed out of nowhere, because before the season, Kevin Mather had that interview. Kevin Mather had his interview on the Rotary Club thing, talk show, and he said that they weren't gonna pick up his contract for next year. So I guess in his eyes, he just wanted to end on the Mariners, and if they weren't gonna pick him up, why would they do that? You know? Yeah, he was in. He he was not only was he like big in playing wise, he's a team veteran. He was there for what? That was his. It was he played 11 years with that team. He was a veteran. He knew the team. I mean, it's done now. His wife tweeted it about it. That's how we found out. His wife announced it on Twitter. No better way. Yeah, I mean, I guess he doesn't have many social medias, so that would explain it. Um, I mean, what a career though. He never made the postseason, but that's just because that's how the Mariners roll. Um, yeah, he played 1,480 games with the Mariners. 1,427 of them at third base. So he was the Mariners' third baseman for 11 years, which is crazy. And batted 251, 321 on base, and 763 OPS. 400, not 400, 242 homers. He had a good career. 36.9 career WAR. He had a good career. No, Hall of Fame. The hell, Hall of Fame. Prince Fielder ain't getting the Hall of Fame. Yeah, no, but good career regardless, in my opinion. Yeah, that's Kyle Seeger. I mean, best of luck to him, like you said, in his career going on. Um, can move right along to the Yankees over in New York. Well, I guess technically not New York. Us, yes, the Yankees of the pod. Um, Rachel. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher this last name. Balkovic. I think it's Russian. But anyway, she was announced. She's gonna be the next manager of the Tampa Tarpoons, which is the Yankees' low A affiliate team, and she's the first ever female manager, not coach, manager in any baseball related game, affiliated game. What do you think? Oh, it's great. And the Giants have that the female coach, and Kim Ang was obviously, she became the Marlins manager last year. This entire time they haven't been able to hear you because my desktop audio's been off.
Nice.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's fixed.
It's fine.
It's fixed.
They're recording.
At least I realized 5 minutes in
now,
rather than an hour
yeah.
and 5 minutes in.
Without a doubt.
That's awkward. All right, sorry about that.
Right. Hey everybody, how's it going? Pleasure to be here.
But yeah, anyway, back. What do you think of?
I mean, it's great. What for the Tampa Tarpoons? I mean, I definitely want to try to go to a game now more than ever.
Yeah.
Get to see her
history.
You know, yeah. Hopefully, yeah. We'll witness history. We'll see her manage hopefully a great game and manage Jason Dominguez, who is there. It'll be great. I think everything about it is great.
I agree. And like we were saying, Kim Ang and the woman on the Giants, who I can't really fully remember her name. Apologize for that. It's just a big step for women in baseball. I think it's great.
Amen.
I think it's great. I'm just excited to see what's next in their their steps that they're taking forward, because I think it's great. I think it's great for the game.
There's a lot that can happen with this. I think this is a small step in what is to come.
Exactly.
Perfect.
But I'm interested. I think a lot of eyes are going to be on how the Tarpoons actually played this year.
You know? Oh, without a doubt. I mean, they have Jason Dominguez, who is, viewed as one of the top prospects in baseball for being such a young kid who seems like he can do it all. I mean, he's an interesting player. Now they have this new manager coming in. I don't really know too much about the high A affiliate of the New York Yankees, but I mean, we can only hope for the best.
Well, yeah, like you said, they have Jason Dominguez. He's like the highest prospect in the Yankees org. It's more of a matter of how will she coach him, and that's what I think everyone's gonna be looking at.
Yeah, I mean, we can only hope that she makes the right decisions, because Jason Dominguez is highly touted.
I agree. I hope she does. I hope they go undefeated. Honestly, because there's probably a lot of people out there that don't want to see her where she is right now for whatever sick reason. Some people are just like that, and
those people are straight up losers.
Yeah, I'm excited to just see her back and doing good. Hopefully.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
We want to move on to also congratulations to her, because that's probably a big achievement in her career.
Oh yeah. I mean, she had. I can imagine that this definitely tops her double masters.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Which is a mind-boggling thing to think about. Congratulations to her on everything.
Yes, congratulations. Next, we can move over to something a little more serious rather than fun and exciting and groundbreaking. MLB Lockout. You know how it is. It's lockout season. Everyone knows.
Boring season.
Yeah, hate to see it season. That's really what this is. Because we hate to see it.
It's a big problem, but
things aren't looking too promising, because from reports are saying that they're just no in-person negotiation scheduled, which is an issue, because how are you gonna create
over email
a CBA without seeing each other in person? Doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit ridiculous. I mean, really hoping that they can meet in person and hopefully try to at least get the ball rolling, because as of right now, a lot of MLB scouts and MLB know-it-alls and stuff are predicting that we lose at least 50 games on the season based on how this goes, and probably no spring training. It's a big problem. I really hope that doesn't happen.
That's the issue. Even if they can get a thing done by, what is it, April 1st or March 31st, I think the first games are. Even if they can get something done by then, players are going to want a spring training. Players aren't going to want no spring training, because
that's another month gone.
Who knows how long they're going to want. Hopefully they don't want a month. That would be terrible. For fans at least. But I think no matter which way you put it, we're gonna miss a handful of games.
Oh, definitely,
And I think you
definitely,
said
which is upsetting.
I think you said John Heyman reported something a couple days ago.
Yeah, that there's been conversations about doing uh, just like a meeting, not in person, probably like a telephone conference or something, about getting stuff resolved and talking to everybody and seeing what they can work out with each other. But nothing's been etched in stone yet, and the hope is that by the beginning of February they're talking is what both sides want. So I'm hoping that they can come to that conclusion rather quickly.
I hope so, because if it's just the beginning of February, maybe we'll get our spring training in and not really miss
Yeah, and then March 31st will be
really
the first game. Yeah, I wish.
Well,
all right.
I guess that's kind of like a time thing. We'll find out what time.
Yeah, time will tell. Time will tell.
That's really it with Lockout. There's not much new because they're not talking. I'd love to say something new, but that's really all. That's really all there is right now. The only other news thing that I've seen the past day is I literally saw it about 15 minutes ago. Apparently, Apple TV or Apple Plus or whatever, Apple streaming service, is trying to negotiate with MLB2 to get the ability to stream games. I think that'd be cool. I mean, it's just another platform for fans to watch the games, which overall is always a good thing.
I mean, call me crazy. I'm a big. I enjoy what Apple TV is, like the streaming service that Apple provides, and it would definitely bring more eyes to the streaming service because they make a lot of good stuff, and if they have the right to also stream baseball, more people will feel the need to join their service.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it like enough. Like, I don't think it's gonna be like MLB TV. I don't think it's just gonna be like.
Oh, they're not gonna black me out.
Well, I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be like just regular TV.
Which would be great. I mean,
like, I don't know
I would
if
love
it's
that.
necessarily gonna be like you can watch any game online.
I mean, if I had to guess, that
would take away the need for MLB TV.
Yeah, it would probably be like a certain game that either no one cares about or it'll be Sunday Night Baseball. It depends on how much they pay, what they want to do, and everything.
Well, because I'm looking up how much is Apple TV Plus, because that might dictate it. It's $4.99 a month.
Yeah,
so there's no way that they're gonna be streaming every game.
No, it's just gonna be select games.
Yeah, because what MLB TV is like $25 or something a month, or like it's
$25 a month, $275 a year a season, something like that, just along those lines.
Yeah, so there's no way Apple would be streaming every game. But either way, I still like it. It's just yet another platform for people to watch the games on,
which is great. The more ways to spread out baseball, the better.
Of course, always. We could just move on to our big
topic.
Our big topic today. This is gonna be part 1 of 3 in the series. We're gonna be going through every team's MVP from last season and who we think is gonna be their MVP next season based on the current roster. So we're not gonna say, oh, hey, they're gonna go sign a free agent and they're
gonna go trade for that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, like no, it's just based off the current rosters. Today we're gonna be doing the East, so AL East, then NL East, then Central, then West. We're gonna go by records, I guess. AL first, then NL.
Yeah.
So if we want to start, the Rays, they had a good season, 100 wins, 62 losses, won the AL East, lost in the ALDS. Again, they won the AL East. Lost
to the fairy tale Red Sox, nonetheless.
Lost in the ALDS to the Red Sox. Who did you have as your MVP for last year, so 2021?
See, this one was, I think it was pretty cut and dry. If there were no such thing as injuries, I think Tyler Glasnow would have taken it. However, he did tear his UCL. But since he went down, I took Brandon Lau, lefty second baseman. I mean, he came up when needed it, when the team needed it most. I mean, 4.8 WAR in just one season. having 132 hits, 32 doubles, 39 home runs with just under 100 RBIs.
Yeah, he went 30 for 30 and homers and doubles.
Doubles. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he played a great game all year. It was great.
I felt the exact same way. I had him on for my MVP as well. Hard not to pick him. He played insane. He had a 142 OPS plus, just missed the 100 RBI mark. It's hard not to pick him. He played 140.
There are cases to be made for a lot of players. I mean, the first one that always comes to my mind is Joey Wendell when we think about like MVPs. But I feel like that
pesky kind of get it done kind of guy. I feel like his clutch stats are probably good if you look at his clutch stats.
Joey Wendell or
Joey Wendell, because I just feel like he's always clutch. I feel like that's the thing that
that we remember him by.
Yeah, that's because especially being Yankee fans, like.
Oh yeah, we know.
Yeah.
He's done his fair share of torture to us.
Yeah, and now he's on the Marlins now. He's not even there anymore. So the Marlins are getting themselves a good guy in Joey Wendell.
The Marlins have a lot of potential. All right, you want to hit up the Red Sox?
Brandon Lau there, right?
Yeah. Oh, we got to do for next season.
We're gonna do next season.
Okay. Who did you give for next season?
I'll go first here. So obviously, Glasnow's not playing. I feel boring because I'm gonna go with Brandon Lau again.
Really?
I think he's gonna continue to be that guy on that team, and I think he's gonna do just as good as he did this season, if not better. I mean, the guy had nearly 40 home runs last year.
Yeah.
And if you look at his numbers, last season he had 14, but that's COVID season. But even then, 14 in 60 games is good. He's been hitting great, like the past 3 years.
There's no reason for him to not.
I'm looking at it right now. All 4 years he's been hitting good. And I don't see anyone else really on the team currently that I think is gonna do it. Like maybe Randy Rosarena.
For next season, I was juggling between Randy and Juan De Franco. I wound up going with Juan De Franco just because the young stud, I mean, he got his big contract, and in 70 games, he put on an absolute show. A clinic.
Explosive.
Yeah, of just electric, like, kids baseball. Like, really just, like, putting his all into every single play that he could be a part of, which was great. I especially since he's 20, going to be 21 years old, I mean, he's really going to put it in overdrive, and I think he might even have a chance to finish top 5 for MVP voting this year, dare I say.
I think that's a good pick. I kind of forgot about him. I don't want to say I forgot about Juan De Franco. He played 70 games this year. He was AL Rookie of the Year candidate.
70 games.
With 70 games, he was a Rookie of the Year candidate next to Randy Rosarena, who played double his amount of games. And he was like legitimately in the running. He's going to be a force in the league for years. Like, he's going to be a force. There's nothing you can really do about it.
The Rays made a great move by locking him up on such a interesting contract.
Oh, yeah. They saw their opportunity and they took it. I can't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be worth it for them. That's what we can hope for.
I like that pick. I like my pick.
Yeah.
I do think Brandon Lau, maybe because of the experience, but I think Randy's going to be explosive next year too. So I like that pick from you as well.
All right, you want to move over to the Boston Red Sox, the Beantown Boys?
Let's do it. Boston Red Sox.
All right, who'd you take for their MVP?
Their MVP, I'm gonna have to go with. It was between two guys really. But at the end, I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna go with Devers.
Devers.
He played 156 games. He batted .279 and it had almost a 900 OPS, which is incredible. He had 113 RBIs this season. He just produced massively, and he produced when it mattered. And that's what really matters in baseball is that you can produce on the offensive side, and he improved his defense. So for that reason,
by light years he improved.
I'm gonna pick Devers for this year's team MVP.
All right.
Who do you have?
I did not take Devers. I will admit that this might sound a little bit of a recency bias. However, I took Nathan Eovaldi. With the Red Sox lacking their ace, their stud pitcher, their starting pitcher one, and Chris Sale, I think Nathan Eovaldi really stepped up to the plate. And of course, I don't think that he put up the same numbers that Chris Sale would have if he were healthy, but he was really able to hold down the fort for the Red Sox, especially when it mattered most down the stretch. In the wild card game and in the postseason, he really turned into their ace, and he went out and got a big contract because of how well he performed this season. And I picked him to be the Red Sox MVP.
I like it. I like it. He had a good season. 182 innings pitched, 195 strikeouts, 126 ERA plus. Pretty good. And he was. You're right. He was big for the Red Sox. Even in that wild card game against the Yankees, he was.
And I went back because when I thought about it, I originally did think of Devers, and I went and watched some Nathan Eovaldi games of him pitching, and I realized it could be the bottom of the third inning with 2 outs and nobody on base, and if he strikes out a guy looking, he's coming off the mound like he just won the World Series. He just really brought the electricity to then carry into the offense. It was just he put on a really good display of character development and being able to really push the team. It was great what he did this season.
I like it. I agree. He stepped up. He really did step up, and he was a big part of their playoff push. He's a big reason that they were even in it for that long.
Without a doubt.
Then this year, I'm gonna stick with pitching. However, I'm not picking Nathan Eovaldi. I'm gonna predict the obvious Chris Sale. He pitched 9. He was in 9 games this year, 5-1 with a 3 ERA, 42 innings pitched, 52 strikeouts. He was Chris Sale.
He's a stud.
He was Chris Sale, and it was you just can't watch it and help but think he's gonna be like this all of next year, and the Red Sox are gonna have this guy next year. And if they won 90 games without him this year, how are they gonna do with him? Because he alone, let's be honest, he adds 10 wins. At the very minimum, he adds 10 wins to your team.
Oh, without a doubt. Especially if they're able to keep their lineup exactly how it was when they were eventually eliminated in the ALCS. If they can keep that whole team and bring back a healthy Chris Sale for a full season, wow, it is going to be one hell of a bloodbath going into Fenway Park for any opposing team.
I'm very curious to see if he still has the nastiest slider in baseball next year.
I can imagine that he does. The Red Sox are really...
I'm predicting a top 3 Cy Young season from Chris Sale.
I was just about to say that.
Top 3 Cy Young season from Chris Sale. You heard it here.
I could see it.
You heard it here first.
The AL seems pretty open. I get Robbie Ray, Garrett Cole are still in the AL, but Chris Sale, man, he's so dominant. He is just a force.
It's hard to even begin to explain, because how do you explain? He's just Chris Sale. That's all there is to say.
Yeah, you can't really get any more specific than he's Chris Sale.
Exactly. It's just the name.
And if this is not obvious by how I'm talking, I also picked him to be the MVP next season.
Oh, did you?
The Red Sox.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did for the same exact reasons.
It was too obvious. I felt like it was too obvious.
Yeah, it's impossible
not to pick Xander or Raffy or Verdugo.
No,
it's
you just can't.
When he's on the field, it's lights out.
It's Chris Sale. It's Chris Sale when he's on the field.
Okay. So,
all right, you want to move on to the Yankees?
Wait, hold on. So I had Devers. You had Eovaldi for this year, for last year.
Yeah, for the previous season.
This year we both had Sale. That's
both
our prediction.
Chris Sale. Yes.
All right. Let's continue on with the New York Yankees.
Heading over to the Boogie Down Bronx for the New York Yankees.
Our New York Yankees.
Our New York Yankees.
This is not sponsored by Dugout Mugs. However, maybe one day it will be. That would be pretty cool.
One day. That would be pretty cool. All right, I'll start.
Who do you got?
MVP, I took the obvious Aaron Judge,
Aaron
2013
Judge.
first round pick. I mean, played his heart out this season. Just missed the six WAR for the season. Played great, 39 home runs, just under a 290 batting average, and really improved his defense out there in right field. I mean, light years ahead of what I would have thought after seeing him his rookie year and his what should have been MVP year. He was able to track down everything. He made the right throw, always accurate. I mean, he did it for the Yankees. It was great.
I like it. I do like that. You can't. It's hard to argue with that because everything you just said was true. However, I'm going a little bit of a different route. I'm actually going to pick Giancarlo Stanton because obviously he's a DH, or at least supposed to. He was supposed to be a DH coming into the season. They said they were going to play him in the outfield, and they didn't wind up doing that till about late August or September. I don't really remember the exact date, but I think him coming towards the end of the season, being able to play in left field, I think that came huge. And he produced with the bat. He was clutch. He was probably one of the most clutch players in baseball all of last year.
And that wild card game, man. He
did it when it mattered. He should have had 3 home runs in that wild card game. And the fact that he could play the field, even next year, now we know he can play the field. He could play left. That's probably all you'll see him. We probably won't see him in right that often, as long as Judge stays healthy. And that's another thing. He stayed healthy this year, which is huge for the Yankees. I'll knock on wood, but he stayed healthy, which was huge for the Yankees. And I think all that combined, he really helped them, and I think he was their most valuable asset this year.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, for me, it was between my top 3 was Aaron Judge, Giancarlo, and then Derek Cole, of course. Wound up going with Aaron Judge, but again, you've made great choices. Great pick in Giancarlo Stanton.
I'm surprised he only has a 3.1 WAR. I feel like he was more valuable to the team than that.
Felt like it. That's just because we watched him every day.
Yeah, that might just be because we watched him every day, but he felt a lot more valuable than that to me.
Without a doubt. All right, you wanna go for who you think is going to be the MVP next year?
Oh boy, see, this is big. This is a big decision.
Yeah, this is our Yankees.
It's
hard. You have to really think about it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go with DJ LeMahieu. Obviously we saw him in 2019. He had an insane year. He was just short of the batting title. He could not be stopped. And even last year, he was literally insane. He won the batting title last year. I get that it was only 60 games. But in 60 games, he won the batting title, had an OPS over 1, and he's not even a power hitter. This year, he had a little bit of a down year. His batting average wasn't over 300, which, as crazy as it sounds, was the only time he hasn't done that as a Yankee in his 3 years.
That's crazy.
His OPS was like 700. His OPS was the lowest of his career, besides his first season, which he only played 37 games.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even have an OPS plus over 100, so that's below league average. He just didn't play like we know he can play, and I think if he can play like that next year, it'll be huge for them. And so that's why I'm predicting that he's gonna bounce back next year and have a great season.
All right.
Who do you got?
This is gonna sound heinous to you, but you're just gonna let me speak. I took Jonathan Loáisiga to be the MVP for the Yankees next season. And I get that he's just a mid-roll bullpen guy. However, with how Chapman has been doing over the past couple seasons, I'm not to criticize him, but just I feel like he's not the same pitcher that we once thought he was. Jonathan Loáisiga is going to start to be more of the crutch that we have to lean on late games to really keep the game close or to keep us in the lead by a run or two. And with how electric he can be, and with how nasty his stuff can be when he's on and he's really doing well on the mound, he could really end up being the perfect piece for the Yankees coming out of that bullpen night in and night out.
Yeah, no, he was explosive this year. My top Loáisiga moment was the the game against the Red Sox. He had like bases loaded. It was like a doubleheader game, I believe. And
Yeah, it was.
He struck out 3 batters in a row. They had bases loaded, no outs. He just struck out the side.
It was beautiful,
Electric.
beautiful.
And I agree, he stepped up insane for the Yankees. He should have been an all-star.
Yeah, I
and
mean, this might be his revenge tour.
When Chapman was out, he stepped in like really well for them.
He slotted in as if he's been there before.
I know.
It was great.
Really, I don't want to say I was surprised because I feel like that sounds like mean, but I was really impressed, and like it felt really good just to see someone who else in the bullpen who seemed lights out. I mean, he had an ERA of 2.
Yeah, it was great.
It was just really good to see. I like that pick. I do like that pick. It's a bold pick, which I like.
All right, and you want to hit up the Toronto Blue Jays now?
Blue Jays. Oh my God, the
do you want to go
had
first?
3 90+ win teams. That's incredible.
Yeah.
They're gonna be
four.
4. I meant to say 4. That's why it was incredible.
Yeah. Would you like to go first?
Is there any debate here?
Well, I think there's a 1 and 2. You can take one. I will take the other.
Okay. I know who you're gonna take. I'll take Vladdy.
All right. And
he should have been. If Shohei didn't exist, he's AL MVP. If Shohei didn't pitch, he's AL MVP. Should I say?
Yep.
It's hard not to. I mean, he finished with a 1. OPS, 169 OPS plus, 311 batting average. So not only was he hitting and a 400 OBP, 400 OBP.
Yeah.
It's insane. 111 RBIs, 48 homers, tied for the major league lead. Hard not to pick him. And he played every game but 1.
Since you went with Vlad, I will go with Marcus Simeon. He played every game this season. Recorded 173 hits, played just out of his mind, 45 home runs, really just an explosion
I don't
of
think
a year
anyone
for him.
expected that.
Yeah,
He's been
everyone
a power
thought
hitter.
Everyone just thought that he would slide into the Blue Jays on a pre-sale contract and really just, try to play the normal role of a second baseman, make contact, hit from time to time, and really just play the position. And he made me want to become a second baseman. He was really electric.
Yeah, no,
it was great to see out of him.
He was, and he played every game, 30 for 40, 5 homers, 39 double. It's just, I don't think anyone expected a top 3 MVP season for Marcus Simeon coming in.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, good pickup, I think was the first reaction, but
no one thought it would be the greatest steal.
No one. I mean, he holds the record for home runs for a second baseman now.
Yeah.
He did in a
great.
single season.
Yeah.
He did great.
All right,
and now he's on the Rangers. So if the Rangers get Blue Jay Marcus Simeon rather than Athletics Marcus Simeon, I mean, I know Athletics Marcus Simeon was good, but if they get that Marcus Simeon, it's gonna be a fun season to say the very least.
Without a doubt, Arlington will be bumping.
It will.
Okay, you want to go with your future MVP for this upcoming season?
I'm undecided, so if you want to go, I'll base mine off who you pick.
All right, I am not going to go with Vlad Jr. because you took him as the MVP for this season. I am going to go with George Springer, center fielder. He did miss a good amount of time because of injuries and stuff. But if he's able to come back and be healthy and be the George Springer that everyone kind of knows, wow, will he be something. I mean, he batted .264 in 80 games? 80 games.
Yeah, he missed a lot.
Yeah, he missed a good portion of the season. And if he's able to rehab right now and if he's able to come back and be completely healthy and be what George Springer is known to be, then he certainly has the potential to be a great player for the Blue Jays organization.
Yeah, and it did feel like one of those things where he may have missed a lot, but when he was there, I think everyone knew, not just Blue Jays fans knew. You could saw him on the MLB Instagram and all that. You knew he was there.
I mean, funny enough that you mentioned that. The reason why I took him is because when I was thinking about all this, I was scrolling through old MLB posts, and I found a post about George Springer, and a lot of the comments from fans all over the country were saying he's just a human highlight reel,
He is.
which he
I feel
is.
like
I
every
mean, you
game you
can't
see a
deny it.
different highlight.
Yeah, I mean, he really knows how to swing the bat well. He knows how to play the big open center field well. Great.
I agree. I think like what do you expect? We all saw him on the Astros. I mean,
Yeah.
he was insane on the Astros. He left there. I don't know. I love that pick. I can't express how much I love that pick. And that's I hope he can stay healthy, because that was his issue last year. But if he can stay healthy,
Yeah.
then yeah, I think it's gonna be a dangerous Blue Jays team, more dangerous than it already is.
Which is scary to think about.
They lost. They're losing a guy who hit 45 home runs this season, played an amazing defensive second base, and they're still insanely they're top probably 3 dangerous team in the league, the entire league. Like, they're one of those teams where if you see them on the schedule and you're like, ugh, like you got
we gotta go to Toronto.
Face the Blue Jays at some point, especially in Toronto. Those fans are.
I mean, one thing that I always think about whenever I think about Toronto is that Joey Bats 3-run home run that registered a small earthquake from the city of Toronto. Oh man, they are nutcases up there.
They're insane.
All right, and who was your future MVP?
Okay, I'm going a little different. I'm going with a pitcher. I think I'm gonna go with Alec Manoa.
Okay, good pick.
We saw him this year. He debuted this year. He was 8-2 or something. Oh no, he was 9-2 rather, with a 3.22 ERA. 127 strikeouts. 136 ERA plus, 3 FIP, or rather 4 FIP, 1.048 WHIP. And that's just in 100.
Just great numbers.
Pitched. 20 games started, but I mean I watched him pitch a lot. I can't lie, like, because I've actually watched him pitch a lot.
Yeah.
His savant page isn't too nice. Or no, his savant page is nice, rather. It's a lot of red, which is good, because that's top percentile.
Always good. Always good.
He's 93rd percentile hard hit percentage, 89 slugging, 89th percentile, 86th in exit velo. He was a lot better than I think people were expecting, especially from a rookie pitcher.
Yeah.
I think and with the loss of Robbie Ray, they're going to need someone to step up. I think he will have a Cy Young type season next year in his second year.
I mean, him and Kevin Gausman back to back with hopefully the best of both of them should be a great season for Toronto.
And they have Kevin Gausman. That team is, the more and more you think about that team, the more and more scary it gets.
Yeah.
As you think, it just gets more and more and more and more and more. But yeah, I'm gonna go with I like the pick. I like Alec.
I do too. I think that's a good pick. Would you like to move over?
Stray away from the hitters.
Agreed. Would you like to move over to the Baltimore Orioles?
Yeah, I mean, I think this one's pretty obvious for the first part.
Okay, you want to say it? Ready? We'll say it together. 3, 2, 1.
Cedric Mullins. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's
unanimous.
It's
Too obvious. 30-30 season, home run, stolen bases. That's an incredible accomplishment.
Who would have thought that all it took from Cedric Mullins was to not be a switch hitter anymore, and he would do
just
and he would have the season that he just had. Yeah, I mean, great for him.
I don't think anyone expected it.
All-star, top 10 in MVP voting.
Incredible defense, speed.
Oh, when he robbed that home run from Gary Sanchez, that's when I got put on notice with him.
He put the entire league on notice. I don't think they're gonna get rid of him anytime soon. They have him locked up until I think 26.
Yes, 2026. 2026 is when he becomes a free agent.
Oh no, 2022. Free agent 2026, but he's ARB eligible next year.
Yeah.
But it's hard. 5.7 WAR, 50. The RBIs are low, but that's just because he batted like first in the lineup or like top towards the top of the lineup every.
And also, he played on the Baltimore Orioles.
And he played on the Baltimore Orioles, so he didn't have much surrounding him, if we're being honest. But 159 games played, it's hard to argue. You can't. There is no argument. It's the same situation as Vladdy. There's no argument.
Yeah. All right, and who are you going to go with as the MVP for next season?
All right, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Let me pull up some numbers. I'm going with Adley Rushman.
It's a good pick. That's a very, very good pick.
He obviously
he's set to debut
played
next year
in the majors yet, but like you just said, he has been projected to debut next year, which is huge for the Orioles. I mean, in Double-A and Triple-A this year, he had a 900 OPS. He batted .285, .502 slugging. He did great. I get that it's the minors, and I get that the whole point is that it's kind of supposed to be like easier in a sense, for players like him. I think he's gonna come in and he's gonna. He
will have an impact.
He's gonna put the league on notice next year. And
the Baltimore Orioles will not become just a complete pushover if Cedric Mullins and Adley Rushman are both on hot streaks.
Yeah, I agree, and I truly do believe that. I believe that I think he might be their opening day starter at catcher.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Give him a full year.
I would love to see it. They don't have a catcher right now. Pedro Severino is on the Brewers now.
Yeah, I mean,
they currently do not have a starting catcher on their team.
And I don't think that they plan on signing one. I think they just will call somebody up. They will call up Adley Rushman.
I think they should. I think that's what needs to happen. What about you? Who do you think next year?
Okay, I'm going to go with John Means, and not for the reason of he's going to pitch for the Baltimore Orioles. I think come next season, John Means will be getting traded, and I think what the Orioles will get back in return will benefit them in next season. I think that they definitely will get back somebody who will be able to not slide into the role that John Means had, but just another player who will be able to produce and be as entertaining as Rushman is projected to be, as entertaining as Cedric Mullins has been this past season. I think John Means will be the MVP for the Orioles without him really playing a full season.
So what you're saying is he's going to be valuable because of what they get back for him?
Yeah.
That's a good angle. I like that angle that you're putting. I like the angle that he's going to be an MVP in terms of the future rather than just this season. Not
just like, the numbers that he puts up on whatever team. I think that he's going to be somebody important for trade reasons or for
he had a really good first half, and everyone thought he was going to get traded, and then he got injured a little bit, and he wasn't as great after the injury. But I'd love to see him come out next season and play great and get traded somewhere good. And like you said, they would definitely get a lot back for him.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I like it. I think it's a bold pick.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Would you like to move over to your 2021 World Series champion Braves?
I would.
Okay.
I'd like to also go first.
Yeah, please do.
In which I am going to pick Freddie Freeman. It feels obvious. I didn't want to pick Jock Peterson because he only played 64 games with them, which I know is a lot, and he might have been most valuable in like the playoffs and everything. Same thing with Jorge Soler. But I think overall, when you look at the entire season,
Adam Duvall.
But like overall, when you look at the entire season, Freddie he had a 900 OPS, just under 900 OPS. He got it done when it mattered. He started the season a little slow, but I think he had another MVP caliber season. I just don't think he got as recognized because the Braves were bad for most of the year. But he had the most hits on the team. Not most RBIs, but he was fourth in RBIs.
He played well.
second in homers, second in triples.
Excuse me. Yeah, one cycle. Don't forget that.
One cycle. He just kind of did it all.
Yeah.
And again, he's the veteran in the clubhouse that really he's the glue in that organization, and he has been for a long time.
If they keep him, he will be the glue.
They need to re-sign him.
All right. I for my MVP went with Max Fried, the young lefty.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you picked Freddie Freeman, more or less. I mean, the man threw 2 shutouts. He was the most entertaining show on earth in the postseason. He really, I just felt like every time he pitched, I got at least 10 different notifications from MLB talking about, oh, Max Fried, another scoreless inning. Oh, Max Fried throws a gem. I mean, anyone the Silver Slugger. I mean, he's better than Shohei Ohtani. They just don't give him the recognition that he deserves playing in the National League.
Oh, my God. Yep.
He was just a great pitcher.
Yep, there
it
is.
I'm happy for him.
There it is. Max Fried is better than Shohei Ohtani.
You heard it here
another
first.
Outrageous quote from Lewis
Put it on my tombstone.
about Shohei Ohtani. But I agree. I like it. No, I do like it. I love Max Fried. I love it. I love watching him pitch. It's just like an anomaly. He got injured a little bit, but when he was there, he did insane, and he was a big part of their playoffs. You're right as well.
Excuse me.
Who you thinking for next year? Because I'd like to go first and steal your pick.
Go for it.
I'm going with Austin Reilly.
Good pick.
That was kind of a split-second decision, if I'm being honest. It was between him and someone who you might pick. I don't really know if you're going to come out of left field here, but I'm going to go with Austin Reilly. I still think he's one of the most underrated players in baseball. What he does is just extremely looked over. 33 homers, 107 RBIs, 33 doubles, too. Throw that triple in there. Can't forget that triple.
Don't forget about that triple.
I won't. He batted .303. Had a 900 OPS, 132 OPS plus. It's just, I think he's their future. He's their future third baseman for a long time, along with.
I mean, I would hope so.
I think he's gonna be part of like a core that's going on there with him and Acuna and who knows who else, Ozzy.
Yeah.
I think that he's gonna be there for years to come, and I think he's gonna have an explosive season next year.
Yeah. For my MVP for next season, I'm going with Dansby Swanson. Sounds a little outrageous. He has played well. He's done perfect. He's played his role to perfection of being the everyday shortstop in Atlanta. But there's so much room for improvement, and with the guys that he's playing around, with Acuna and Freeman, I mean, there's so much that he can improve upon that can really throw his game, up above the stars. And I think that this upcoming season, after coming off a championship, did he just get married? I mean, he's gonna be... I'm hoping that he is going to be one of the greatest players in the league because he has so much room to grow.
While I agree, I feel like also it might be, I don't know. He didn't have a great season this year. I mean, like you said, I hope he could bounce back and have an insane season. It's tough because there's so many other stars around him that he gets like overshadowed a lot, obviously. And
yeah,
obviously
I know.
his numbers also aren't up there with the rest.
Well, that's why
I guess you're projecting him to grow exponentially and for the others to go down a lot because I just don't see I don't see Austin Reilly. I don't see him being better than Austin Reilly and Ronald Acuna Jr.
This is me not saying that other players are going to get lower. I'm just thinking that Dansby Swanson is going to be what
that valuable piece,
like what Manny Machado is to the Padres.
Right, he's not their 1-1.
Yeah, but like he provides the value, he provides the clutch, he provides like everything that you really want in an everyday player.
Like,
and I think Dansby Swanson
when you need. He's there when
Yeah,
you need
I
him.
think Dansby Swanson will be that type of player, and that's super, super valuable to a team.
I like it. I picked him for MVP in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Last year.
Last year, yeah. I would hope so.
Didn't work out too well. Did not work out too
Yeah,
well.
I can imagine.
So if we want to get away from the champs, we'll go to the second place Phillies. The Philadelphia Phillies, 82-80 under Joey G.
Oh, God save him.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you go first because I know you're not picking who I'm picking. Because, well, yeah. Go for it.
Went with Brad Miller. No, I mean,
this is legitimate. Not really.
No, as hard as it is for me to say, I have to pick Bryce Harper. I mean, he won MVP of the National League, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, that's all that I will say.
Bryce Harper had an incredible year. He was obviously the best position player on this team. When you look at this team, they actually, a lot of their players just aren't great. I know that sounds very blunt. I know it sounds like very blunt, but I don't know.
The players are not what the Phillies expected them to be.
Like this
as hard as it is to sound. Andrew McCutchen
won less games.
This team should have won less games?
Or projected to win less games, should I say.
Okay. I think
their Pythagorean win-loss had them 80-82 rather than 82-80.
Okay. 2 games. Okay.
That's worse. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, Bryce Harper, undoubtedly the best player on this team. I'm
the only bright spot.
Well, here's another bright spot. I'm gonna pick a pitcher. I'm going with Zach Wheeler. I think he was robbed of the NL Cy Young.
Amen.
213 innings pitched, 32 games. He had 2 shutouts, 3 complete games, a 150 ERA plus, 247 strikeouts. Sure, his record was 14-10, but he had that team behind him. I think he did incredible this season, and I think he was truly their 1-1 ace. No getting past him.
No, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I love it. I loved Zach Wheeler this year.
Yep.
I remember watching him pitch against the Mets when he got the 10 strikeouts in a row to start the game.
Oh, that was electric.
It was.
Would you like to start off with next year's MVP?
Yeah, I'm gonna go right back to Zach Wheeler.
Doubling down.
I think he's gonna bold prediction. I think Zach Wheeler will pitch either a no-hitter or a perfect game next year.
That is a mind-blowing take coming out of Alex's mouth right now.
I think no-hitter or Cy Young next year for
Well, no-hitter or Cy Young or no-hitter or perfect game?
Sorry, no-hitter or perfect game for
with a Cy Young. It's just sprinkled in there.
No, he's gonna pitch a no-hitter or a perfect game, and he's gonna win the Cy Young next year. It's all happening. He's gonna have an ERA under 2. He's going to have the best season of all time.
Okay.
And that's my opinion on Zach Wheeler.
Okay. Well, this is the only time that I will have a tie at the MVP for any team, for all 30 MLB teams. And I'm tied between JT Romuto and Rhys Hoskins. Rhys Hoskins had missed a few games because of a hand injury, and I'm very, very high on Rhys Hoskins. I believe that he is a great defensive first baseman and a perfect bat for the Phillies in their lineup. And I mean, JT Romuto is JT Romuto. It's hard to not say that he's going to have a good season every year.
One of the best catchers in baseball. I mean, it's hard not to be high on him.
But I'm trapped in between those two, and literally, I can't even bring myself to flip a coin because then I'll feel bad that I did not pick the one that I don't wind up picking.
Yeah, I like the only time that I'll tie.
I'm a big Rhys Hoskins believer.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he doesn't injure his hand, I definitely think the Phillies are able to hold their own a little bit more. Probably was a little bit weird bringing in Brad Miller, but they made do with what they had, and I think that Rhys Hoskins coming back will be a big help to them.
From what I remember, his big issue was strikeouts. So I mean, if he can lower those down a little bit, that might be good for him.
I mean, in 107 games, he struck out 108 times. So
not great, but if he can bring that down, that's great. That is great.
Yeah.
I like it. So that's the Phillies. If we want to head over to the Amazons, the nice 77-85 Mets.
Yeah.
This team was like projected to win their division and
by a
like
landslide.
95 games, and then they won 77. They can blame it on losing Jacob deGrom all they want. Also, I don't hate the Mets. I'm just being general statement about how the Mets season went this year.
Tell me who your MVP is. Oh, no, you're gonna go first.
Well, I'm gonna go with Pete Alonso. As much as I wanted to go with Jacob deGrom, he just didn't play enough. I think he also did it to himself, but I'm gonna go with Pete Alonso. He had a good year. He came up clutch. He was their personality. He won the home run derby again.
While dancing.
37 homers. He just had fun. He just had a lot of fun all season. He slugged. He just did his thing.
He was healthy.
He really
all
just
season,
did his thing, and he was healthy
loved.
all season. He just did his thing, and I think he was a very valuable piece on that team. There were a couple other guys who were extremely exciting, and I think Mets fans loved. But I think none of them are more valuable than Pete Alonso was last year.
Yeah. For my MVP, if Brandon Nimmo were to have stayed healthy all season and played a whole season, it would have been him. However, since he did not, I'm going to just go with the basic answer of Francisco Lindor. Of course, did not play well, but I think that he added something to the Mets that we never thought we would see, and that was enjoyable personality of being at Citi Field. I've never seen Francisco Lindor, Mr. Smiles, that happy. I think he's more happy because of the contract that he signed rather than the team that he's playing for. But it looked like, he's what the team wants to build around. And I think this offseason has proved it. And I think that moving forward, they're definitely going to be relying on him.
So you're saying he was most valuable because he was
because he's their he's their cornerstone.
Because he existed.
Because he's their cornerstone. All right.
I don't like that pick. I don't.
Yeah.
I think that's.
It was. I mean,
it's well
Lindor, Alonso, or who? Aaron Loop.
I think Aaron Loop is a heavy candidate, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean Lindor, those are the three that are up there for me. Everybody else, there's a big gap.
Lindor was terrible this year. He got booed. He got booed off the field at one point.
And then he booed him right back. Don't ever forget that.
He had a terrible relationship with fans. The only reason they like him is because he actually came to their team.
Not willingly.
I don't like it. I don't like that pick, if I'm being honest. That's the first one that I really don't like. I don't think he was the most valuable player for their team this year.
You know what? Then I don't like your pick. What are you gonna do about it?
Well, I mean, I just don't like the pick. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't like the pick.
No, that's fair.
I think there were other good candidates, and I do think Aaron Loop might have been my second choice. The man had the man had a .59 ERA.
Yeah. 9.2. Yeah. Wait, no. 9.5 or 9.2? 9.5.
Man had a .95 ERA.
I mean, yeah.
Like what?
But
he pitched 65 games.
Yeah.
That's incredible. But anyway.
All right.
You do you.
Next season.
Who do you think next season?
Believe it or not, I'm going to go with Starling Marte. I mean, he really showed out for the Athletics. I mean, he would have won the batting title if he was not traded midway through the season. And although he is aging, he shows no sign of slowing down. He is going to put on a show in Flushing for the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, he led the league in steals last year.
Yeah.
I like it. He's a good all-around guy. Plays his position well. Gets hits when he needs to. I do like that.
He's a perfect player for what the Mets are going for right now, and that's they want to win right now.
Yeah, I like it. I like that a lot better than this year's pick.
Yeah.
That being said, would it be boring if I went with the obvious pick? Should I go with the obvious pick, or should I go with my?
Might as well go with the obvious pick.
Should I go with my reach pick? What should I do?
No, just. I mean, do you want to play it safe? Do you want to have a good clip to upload to TikTok later? What are you gonna do here?
I'm gonna go with Trevor. No, I'm kidding. I think I'll just go with the obvious, and I'm gonna go with. Who am I gonna go with?
Is it one or two? Is it one or two? Who will it be?
I'm gonna go with
Iguodala.
I'm gonna go with Francisco Lindor.
Oh, good pick. Good pick.
Obviously, Jacob deGrom's still there, but I'm going with Francisco Lindor is going to be the best player on the New York Mets next year, including pitchers, including that insane rotation that they're building up. I think Francisco Lindor is going to show up and he's going to show out. With all the pieces that are being built around him, I think he's going to get some competitiveness like within himself in the team. I think he's going to ball out next season. I think he's going to look like the Lindor that we know. I think he's going to look like 2018 Lindor, who was
the Lindor that lost to who in the playoffs? Just go ahead and remind me on that.
The New York Yankees. The New York Yankees. I think we'll get 2018 Lindor, who had an 871 OPS and hit 38 homers. I think we're getting that Lindor. I think the Mets are going to get him next year, and he's going to be insanely valuable. And I'm excited to see it because he when he does good, his ego. He's got a bit. I don't want to say he's got a big ego. But he's got his head
is so inflated that he could lift the whole entire City Field up as if it's the house from Up.
Yeah,
when he's on, he's on.
Yeah,
we know that.
He knows when he's doing good, to say the very least. And I think when he's doing good, the rest of the team will do good. I think the whole clubhouse just kind of. I was in that clubhouse this year. I saw the clubhouse. He is the only one. He has a big locker. And he's the only one with the flag above their locker. He has his Puerto Rican flag above his locker. I just think it's gonna be his season. It's gonna be takeover in the Queens for Lindor.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Then we can go with another team who did not do so great last year, the Miami Marlins. As we wind down here, who did you have for their MVP?
Oh, I just accidentally closed out of everything. Hold on. I had it pulled up.
All good. While you do that, I'll go first then. I'm going to go with Jazz Chisholm.
Okay, good pick.
Because although his stats might have not been the best on the team, I think he's setting a tone for the future of the organization, because I think that the organization is going far. I think they're going to be really good in the next couple of years. They're making moves, and their players are developing more and more every day.
They are on quite the trajectory going forward.
Yeah, and even like, while Jazz's numbers may have not been top tier, he was explosive. His defense was fun to watch.
I mean, it's not. How can you not have fun watching him Euro step onto home plate?
Yeah, he's speedy. He's got the charisma. What's not to like about Jazz Chisholm?
He's a kid playing baseball.
Right. He's just
at the end of the day, he's a kid playing baseball.
He's just having fun he's doing what he loves.
Yeah.
And how could you not like it? How could you not like it?
Without a doubt.
All right. So now that you're back up, who do you have?
I took Sandy Alcantara. I mean,
Sandy Alcantara.
and in 205 innings pitched, he threw up a 3.19 ERA. I mean, his stuff was nasty. His record and basic counting stats don't show how good of a pitcher he was. I mean, 200 strikeouts is a little low, but he's a 25-year-old pitcher. I think he can really improve, but this season really showed that he's worthy of being a notable player in a starting rotation.
Yeah, no, their rotation is going to be a lot better than people think next year, if their offense can produce.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean,
Very
I feel
underrated.
as if their whole starting rotation could be something to keep an eye out for because all of them are really young. Like there's so much development that can go on still that can really all improve.
I mean, look, like, let's just take a look. Their rotation this last year, here the ages are 25, 23, 25, 27, 23, 26. No one is above the age of 27 in that entire rotation. They've got time. They've got time to do their thing.
Yeah, they have time. They do. All right, and
They're gonna
so
be a
now,
force.
yeah, now that we got that out of the way, who is going to be your MVP next season?
Oh, this is tough. This is very tough because obviously they lost. They don't have Starlin Marte anymore. They don't have Adam Duvall.
Would you like me to go first then?
Oh no, I'd like to go first here.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with they picked him up this offseason. I'm going with Vasael Garcia.
Okay.
I think now that he did good in Milwaukee. If I could pull up stats, maybe I can't. Here we go. But he did good in Milwaukee. And that's with everyone surrounding him. I think now that he's in a even smaller kind of market team, he's gonna be able to do his thing. And I think he's gonna ball out. He's gonna be their top guy. He's gonna be able to get it done when it matters.
Yeah.
I think he's what they need in that team on that team.
That's good analysis.
Especially because the fans love him. The fans are gonna love him because he's the new pickup. As long as he doesn't do terrible, which would be kind of out of nowhere.
I mean, I plan on hitting up the Marlins Stadium at least once this season. It will be fun.
We'll be in.
We will be there. We'll do a meet and greet. I promise there will be a big line, so everyone needs to get there very early.
No, we might record a video though.
That would be fun. That would be fun. All right.
Yeah.
My MVP for next season is none other than Jacob Stallings. The Pirates traded him away to the Miami Marlins, and I think the Marlins is exactly where Jacob Stallings belongs. The Marlins were able to develop JT Romuto and other stars such as Giancarlo Stanton, Christian Yelich, everybody that we now consider some of the greatest players in the league. And Jacob Stallings going there, and finally he'll be able to be a little bit more on the main stage and not trapped in the NL Central. He'll be able to make the trips to New York more often. He'll be able to play against all these different, honestly, better competition teams. It will be great to see what he brings to the Marlins come this season.
I like that. We both went with new guys who are going to be on that team. I think they're both going to want to prove themselves to the fans. I like it. He had a great year, like you said, in Pittsburgh. I'm having trouble believing he's going to be their most valuable. He's definitely a step up from what they have right now because
what's
Alfaro.
Yeah.
He was not good at all this season.
No disrespect. We would love to have you on the show, Mr. Alfaro, but no disrespect.
He wasn't what the fans wanted. I mean, the fans might like him, but obviously he's not what the fans wanted. Just looking at the numbers, he might have been the best. They might love him from his personality, but on field, not great. I think it's a big step up. So I could see how he would be most valuable, especially because it's a step up from the catcher in the catcher position, which is extremely important position.
It's a giant step up from what they had, and honestly, Stallings has become such an underrated player in my eyes. I think it's just because he is tucked away in Pittsburgh. But I think this season he will be somebody that the league doesn't want to pitch to and doesn't want to run on, doesn't want to challenge. He will definitely be laying down the law in Lone Depot Park.
Yeah, and he's not gonna be the explosive bat, but in terms of catchers, he will be.
Yes.
He for catcher, he's great. He's a great guy to have on your team.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So I agree.
All
I
right.
like it.
Would you like to head over to the Nationals?
I'd like to. The last team here is the Washington Nationals. Finished 65 and 97 this year. Not great, but I'll go first so I can steal your pick. I'm gonna go with Juan Soto. I feel like it's the obvious.
It's too obvious.
It's the obvious, and if you don't pick him, it'd just be like
blasphemous,
outrageous. It would be outrageous.
Yeah.
Like you're just looking for an argument.
Is he still 19 years old? No.
It feels like it. It feels.
He's like Jason Tatum.
He's explosive. He's explosive. Obviously.
I mean, he batted .313.
He missed 10 games at the beginning of the season because of COVID, and then didn't miss. He did not miss anything after that. Batted .313. 999 OPS. He was
under
like this
100
close.
Strikeouts.
Under 100 strikeouts.
Under 100 strikeouts.
145 walks.
He's my National League MVP.
Okay. 29 homers, 95 RBIs. It's hard.
First All-Star appearance. First All-Star appearance too.
Yeah. It's hard not to pick him.
Yeah, I mean, I went with Juan Soto for the same exact reasons. I mean, he's a stellar young stud. Honestly, might be one of the top 5 best players in baseball right now. The kid knows what he's doing. I mean, you would think that he's a seasoned vet, but he's going on year 5 in the league. I mean, the sky's the limit for him. It's great.
I think he's going to be even better next year. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah. I think he is the best hitter in baseball currently.
Okay. And who is your future? Am I going to go first?
Well, you didn't give your current.
Oh, no, I'm taking Soto too.
Okay. I guess
I don't think it's not even close. It's not close.
No, yeah, you're right. It's not. We'll allow it. Okay. You want me to go first for next year?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to pull out a shocker here. I'm going to go with Juan Soto.
Oh, whoa.
Like we said, how could I not? It's Juan Soto. Does it need much more explaining?
Yeah.
For every reason we just said is why I think he's going to be their MVP next year. And I just saved myself some time for the last one. So if you want to give me yours,
I'm going with the 23-year-old Josiah Gray. Starting pitcher, they got him in the Trey Turner, Max Scherzer deal. I mean, from what we saw this season, it wasn't, the best performance ever. But he's a young gun. I mean, he has potential. And I think that if he really develops this season, he will not only be the MVP for developing and coming up well, but he'll be the MVP moving forward for them.
I like it.
It's a little bit of a bold take.
It's very bold because he didn't play that much this year.
Yeah, well, they called him up this year, I think, almost right after the trade. He only played in, I think, 5-6 games. He started 12 games. 12 games. In 62 innings pitched. He had a 5.31 ERA when he went 2-2. Obviously, it's not great, but he's a 23-year-old rookie who just came into the league after getting traded across the country. I mean, I genuinely think that he has what the Nationals need, and that's a good pitcher. I think that he is the piece that maybe the Nationals rebuild will be centered around him and Juan Soto moving forward.
I mean, I like it.
I took him also because you took Juan Soto too.
Yeah, I like the boldness of it.
I mean, because think about it,
it's just hard to convince convince myself, because looking at the numbers, like, obviously they're not currently anything special because he hasn't been in the league for long. But
well, I think that even if he doesn't put up like Max Scherzer, Garrett Cole, Jacob deGrom numbers, I think even if you see a large gap in like development this season, like even if his ERA sits around 3 or like 3.5, and he goes out and throws 300 innings and stuff, I think that that's a serious improvement, and it shows that Josiah Gray is going to be with the Nationals and that he is going to be what the Nationals need. And the Nationals need a lot of everything right now.
yeah, they do, except for right field.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can end it on that high note, which is where we're gonna end it. I mean, it's definitely a pick. That's what I can say.
It was a pick, believe it or not. I did take it.
I mean, it definitely just happened. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, their pitching coaches must be decent. They've had a lot of good pitchers going in there recently.
Oh yeah. I mean, their World Series run is still fresh in my mind. The fact that their 3 starting pitchers threw almost 90% of all innings in the entire postseason shows that maybe the pitching staff knows what they're doing a little bit. So we're gonna bank on that.
It's a good bank on. Well, that rounds out the East. That's one of 3.
One of 3 episodes.
So I guess we're 33% of the way there. But a lot of good picks, a couple shockers,
some questionable ones.
Questionable ones.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I thought we both had pretty good picks in general.
Yeah, that was good.
No other real news coming.
I mean,
unless something happens with lockout or some shocker.
Feel free, if anybody wants to send Alex and I down to Arlington, we will handle the CBA negotiations ourselves. Just, talk to us for our travel arrangements, please.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Buck Showalter.
Oh my God.
The Mets
Buck
manager.
Showalter. All right, get ready to end it. Ready? Buck Showalter is the new manager of the Mets. Now cut the video. I'm a little bit jealous.
I mean,
I love Buck.
I do love Buck.
Students with
For being such an older personality in baseball, I love the fact that he is so analytically driven, unlike a lot of older people who still enjoy the game. Some people that we do know who don't seem to care about things like BABIP and stuff. Buck Showalter really puts emphasis on the numbers, and he likes the matchups, and he likes all of that.
I mean, if you don't believe in BABIP, I don't even know why you watch baseball. I mean,
see you later.
I mean, but yeah, I mean that rounds it out. Buck Showalter, see how he does.
Yeah.
I thank you for watching this episode
pleasure.
of a normal baseball podcast, and we'll be back sometime this week with the AL and NL Central. See you later. It's awkward music. This is really awkward music to dance to. This is a lot. It's really awkward.
Is it over?